Hey, today guys, I'm reacting to Travis the Chimp. Okay, I don't know the story yet, but yeah. Let's get into it. So, Travis the Chimp is a violent story. Okay, let's get into it.
So today we're talking about Travis the Chimp. He's a chimpanzee who's also an animal actor. He only lived until the age of 13, and his last day on Earth was horrific.
On the 16th of February 2009, at around 3:40 p.m., an adult male chimpanzee named Travis, who had been kept as a beloved and pampered pet for many years, went berserk, mauling and severely injuring a 55-year-old woman.
Before we get into what happened with Travis, I want to talk a little bit about his upbringing because he was born on October 21st, 1995. He was an animal actor, like I said, and he did commercials, and he was even on The Maury Show. But here is a clip of a commercial that Travis did.
Okay, Earl, let's call it a night. Thank you. You're welcome.
I wish I could show you guys a clip of Travis on The Maury Show, but I couldn't find it anywhere. Anyways, Travis was born on October 21st, 1995. He was born in Missouri, and his mother's name is Susie. So Susie belonged to a breeder, and Travis was born, and then he was eventually sold to a couple named Sandra and Jerome. They purchased Travis for $50,000 from this breeder when he was only 3 days old.
Travis was born at a chimpanzee sanctuary in Missouri on October 21st, 1995. He was soon adopted by Sandra and Jerome Herold, who named him after their favorite singer, Travis Tritt.
So clearly, Travis was a pet to Sandra and Jerome. I mean, they even named him after their favorite artists. But unfortunately, Travis's real mother, Susie, didn't live long after he was adopted. It turns out that Susie, Travis's chimpanzee mother, escaped shortly after he was sold, and she was killed because she escaped the sanctuary, which is really unfortunate because I'm sure this chimpanzee, Susie, was trying to find their child who was only 3 days old. I do want to give you guys a disclaimer that I do not put any blame onto Travis or these exotic animals because personally I don't believe they should be pet.
Try and get let's hit 190k views on this video, 8.5k likes, and yeah, a lot of subscribers. See if we can get 50 subscribers too.
I mean, I don't even feel comfortable going to zoos. But Travis was really socialized to humans because he was brought up to Connecticut and...
Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and like. Okay? Got that? Yeah.
Then just raised in suburbia. Some of the neighbors actually talk about times where they were wrestling with Travis and that he listened very well to the owners, better than their own nephews.
Neighbor Tony Macari even used to wrestle with Travis on a regular basis. He noted that the animal was always extremely careful when playing and knew when to stop. Indeed, according to Tony Macari, Travis listened to instructions better than his own nephews.
So Travis was pretty much a child to Sandra and Jerome. He dressed himself, he did
a child? Chimpanzee is a child? Are you kidding me, bro?
He ate meals with the family, used a computer, knew all the times that the local ice cream trucks made their rounds. I mean, he was also a big fan of baseball. I mean, this chimp could go and use keys to open doors, could go and water plants, feed hay to the horses. This chimp was extremely smart. But there were some unfortunate events that happened in this family that seemed to have shaken up Travis's behavior. I mean, granted, I don't believe a chimpanzee should be
What about
acting
Sandra's
like a
ugly
child
head?
living in this house
Yeah,
like it's
silly.
a human. But Sandra and
Okay.
Jerome, they had one child, and unfortunately that child died in the year 2000 in a car accident. Then in 2004, Jerome died of cancer. So there was a lot of loss in this family, and Travis was very much a
course, I
part of
understand
this
that,
family.
yes.
So this grew Sandra and Travis's bond with each other, but at the same time kind of broke up the family and changed the dynamics. But
Oh, of course it's ads. Yeah, guys, it's
Where can you take me?
But there was an event in 2003 before Jerome had passed away. At this point, he was sick with cancer, but he hadn't died yet. In October 2003,
get 50
Travis
subscribers on
escaped
this.
their car and
8.K
ran
likes.
loose in the city in the streets.
8
Again,
point-
this isn't Travis's fault
7
because he's an exotic
4K
animal in this
likes.
situation, and someone actually threw trash at him. Like, probably, I guess, to, like,
199K
they saw a
views.
chimpanzee and was like, what? I'm in Connecticut, like, what is going on here? And
Yeah, just
no excuse to throw trash at him, but, like, anyways,
Disgusting.
Travis was pissed and let himself out of the car to go and handle this situation.
In October 2003, for example, Travis was riding in the Heralds' car when he was hit by an object thrown by a passing pedestrian. The chimp let himself out of the car and chased the offending individual, who fled the scene, a sensible move when confronted with a 200-pound angry chimp.
As I've been doing research for this video, I've learned that once a chimp is pissed off, they are mad, and there's really no going back. So there's this whole scene going on outside, and the police are called, and they're doing everything in their power to just try to lure him back into the car. But then once he gets into the car again, he decides to let himself out.
The police were called, and a slapstick chase ensued wherein they would tempt Travis back into the car with cookies, ice cream, and macadamia nuts, only for Travis to immediately let himself out again once he'd had a snack. He chased officers playfully around the car and held up traffic for several hours. It was only once he became tired that he was eventually subdued with a tranquilizer dart.
So they had to go and tranquilize Travis just to calm him down. And this situation made news, headlines, and it eventually changed policy. This 2003 incident led to the passing of a Connecticut law prohibiting people from keeping primates weighing more than 50 pounds as pets. So that's pretty big because Travis is like 200 pounds. Sandra actually got a pass when it comes to Travis because Travis had already been there, and at this point the government didn't believe that Travis was threatening. So go ahead and keep your chimp, just, nobody else can go and get one of their own. But that brings us to the tragic incident that went down on February 16th, 2009. At around 3:40 p.m., Travis attacked Sandra's friend named Carla Nash. This is a really horrific story, guys, so I want to give you guys a little bit of a trigger warning because Nash's injuries are extreme,
only watching
and
until a full
the incident itself is devastating, and it sounds like a horror film. So if you've got a weak stomach, or if you're worried of having nightmares at night involving chimpanzees, then maybe skip ahead.
On this particular day, Travis had taken Sandra's car keys and left the house. Sandra called Charla so that she could come over and help her tempt the chimp back inside. Charla, who was very familiar with the animal, took one of his favorite toys, a Tickle Me Elmo doll.
You guys heard correctly, because yes, this chimp, Travis, took the keys to the car and left. I mean, I have no idea how a chimpanzee, a 13-year-old chimpanzee, 200 pounds, is out here operating a vehicle, and I don't understand why the government allowed them to keep him, because he's clearly dangerous. And as you guys heard, Sandra called her friend Charla Nash to come over and to help her, because this is out of control. Charla Nash has been around Travis a good amount. I mean, not as much as Sandra, and most of the time Travis was kept in his cage, but she came there and she knew that the Elmo doll was his favorite toy. He is a 13-year-old chimp, and she tried to lure him back using this toy, but this really upset Travis, and I guess, at this point, Charla had changed her hair up, so maybe Travis didn't recognize her, but he decided to attack her.
Sandra did her best to save her friend. She hit Travis with a shovel and stabbed him with a butcher knife, an act which caused her great emotional distress.
Okay.
Travis goes after Nash, and then Sandra steps in and she gets physical with Travis, like trying to stop him to save her friend. But of course, I mean, this is a very strong animal, and
Yes.
Turn it down.
Okay.
And shut